doesn't have the maturity deficiencies of C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Okay.
He has a more measured, more methodical approach, a more mature approach. So that's good. Can he develop into being the delivering it where guys have their head in a swivel and stuff like that? Yeah, maybe. But I got to see that.
Speaking of Andrew DeCecco, he'll join us coming up at 8:25 this morning. Talk a little bit about training camp, and of course, also this guy. I'm curious.
He got poached today. He's going to be in the afternoon.
Yes, he will be. But we'll get a chance to talk to him coming up at 8:25. All right, what do we got on the text line so far this morning, Connor? Again, to be clear, we're not saying, are the Eagles the next dynasty?
No.
I'm just wondering, are you prepared for that conversation? Because throughout the NBA playoffs, it was, are the Thunder the next dynasty? Is this player the next face of the league? Are the Eagles the next dynasty? Talk will come your way soon. Are you ready for it? Because I like chess days.
Yeah,
chess days are fun.
I actually think the national media is pushing against the narrative, not pushing towards it.
But at some point, it's like...
Yeah, I don't think they want to embrace that narrative. I think they're pushing against it.
When I came back from Bristol, what did I tell you?
You felt there was a change.
A change for Hurts. And when the list came out where he was, ninth on the executive poll?
People were upset.
People at the network in which it was written on were upset. And I wonder, will there come a time where the Eagles force the conversation? They may try to push back, but at some point you can't ignore it. Just like we can't ignore that Jalen Hurts has been in the Super Bowl 2 in the last 3 years, despite not having the rocket arm, despite not having maybe the same quickness as Lamar Jackson, but he's got a mentality and a winning mentality that gets him in the Super Bowl 2 in 3 years. You can't ignore that. And people have stopped ignoring it, finally. It may happen with the team itself.
The difference is that what you got to do is you got to shift people off of their original positions, which is Jalen Hurts was a second-round pick. Jalen Hurts is never going to be a franchise quarterback. Jalen Hurts is deficient. And so you have to move them. People get entrenched because they remember what they said, and they're just begging to be right. They're begging to see a collapse. They're begging to see a regression. I think the majority of analysts are actually rooting for a regression.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
They want to see him come back to
they were
so he can
right.
say, hey, saw it. It's a super team. And by the way, that super team that they keep trying to push that narrative that Jalen Hurts has a super team, they were not favored to win the Super Bowl that they won in blowout fashion. They were not even favored. So the idea that they were a super team, if you're a super team, you are not an underdog in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
Great point, Johnny. What do we got on the text line so far, Connor?
All right, we have a check-in here. This texter does not like the dynasty talk. They say dynasty talk in any form is ridiculous. Odds are against a repeat Super Bowl win. Have that discussion in a year. Let's focus on this year.
Okay, yeah. They're not going to be one until they win it again.
Yeah, that's why. When these shows start talking about it, to me, it's they came in, and they will talk about it.
It's going to happen.
They will talk about it. I know NFL Live will have this at some point during August.
Right.
They will try to describe it. All the other teams that they make out to be dynasties in the making, they don't doubt their biggest player. The Eagles, they doubt their biggest player. The Eagles,
do they?
They do. They doubt. They
or
doubt
do they
Jalen
just
Hurts.
not think that Jalen Hurts is their biggest player? Because I don't hear a lot of doubt about Saquon Barkley.
Right.
I don't think they think that Saquon Barkley's their biggest player.
He's on the cover of Madden.
Oh, it's fantastic. But the thing is that they don't look at in the NFL as it is a sport that doesn't value the running back as the biggest player.
When you look at the Eagles, can you look at a quote-unquote biggest player? I look at an entire offense.
Okay, when you look at the Chiefs, who do you look at?
At Patrick Mahomes.
When you look at the Bills,
he doesn't have receivers.
Okay, when you look at the Bills, who do you look at?
Josh Allen.
When you look at the Bengals, who do you look at?
Well,
when you look
Joe
at
Burrow.
when you look at the Ravens,
when it comes to the Bengals,
when you look at the Ravens, who do you look at?
Core. Lamar Jackson.
Every single NFL team that is a Super Bowl contender, the first player that they always mention is the quarterback. You always have mentioned the quarterback for a Super Bowl contender. You don't mention a running back. You don't mention a defensive player.
Well, not for
you
those
mention
teams.
the quarterback.
Not for those teams that
Maybe
you just
for
mentioned.
this team it's different.
And Bengals, I do look at Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
And that is the point, is the difference is what they don't want to embrace. The difference is what they want to reject. The difference is what they want to sell against.
No.
They don't buy
It's not a they thing. We're sitting here on the side of the Eagles saying we may think about it differently. So it's not a they, this specter of people not giving Jalen Hurts credit. When you look at this team, they may just be built not around the quarterback.
It is, but the thing is that they, as the narrative, they constantly sell against the quarterback of this team, despite that he outplays all of these other guys I just rattled off, including head-to-head Patrick Mahomes in his entire career when they've played head-to-head. Hurts has gotten the check mark and been better.
Right.
But they continually sell against him.
Yes, they don't like Hurts, but that's not what we're saying here. It's not about the like of Hurts or not. It's about, do you really think about him first when you think about the Eagles, no matter if he's great or not? And some people may not.
I think of the Eagles' offense as a whole before I think about just Jalen Hurts. I do.
I think when you think about
Mahomes is different because it's Mahomes.
Okay, when you've ever thought of a Super Bowl contender in the NFL, you've always thought of the quarterback first.
Yeah,
every
but
team.
this situation
and that's
is different.
Well, that's why they reject it. That's why the Eagles are rejected, because they don't see Hurts fitting in that box of all these other great quarterbacks.
Okay, gotcha.
They don't like the narrative. Hopefully, it can be changed.
All right, coming up next, we'll reset our topics. Also, we'll open up our Phillies discussion for the day. There was another trade rumor yesterday, and I'm curious where the fans fall on this because some of it is name versus production. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.